Welcome back now. Some of Pakistan's top designers have been in London for Pakistan Fashion Week. It brought together some of the country's best and emerging talents to mark the upcoming 70th anniversary of Pakistan's independence. It also was a chance to showcase the country's rich textile industry. Well, here in the global studios is the country's High Commissioner to London, Fayyaz Abbas. Also, top stylist Nabila is here, and on the other side of the studio is the model Eshal Fayyaz, and she's wearing a dress by the designer Maheen Khan, and she was on the catwalk during this fashion week. Nabila, let me start with you as we see the dress here. Is that typical of the sort of garments that were on show during this fashion weekend?
Yes, they were very elegant. The fabrics were amazing. There is a little bit of tradition that you can see, but with a Western sensibility.
We often talk and hear about Indian fashion. What is the difference between Pakistani fashion and Indian fashion?
They're very similar, but I think if you look very closely in detail, the work that we do, the embroidery and the intricate details and a little bit of sensibility, the colors are a little more subtle. So, you know, there would be a difference if you're looking very closely.
I think our cameras can pan right into that, the embroidery that you are talking about. I mean, a garment like that, I mean, so often when we talk about catwalks like this, you know, you're talking about really very expensive stuff. I mean, is that true here as well?
I don't know, expensive is subjective, but something like this would not be more than £300.
Okay, and it's also about inspiration. Ishad, why don't you come and take a seat as I continue to ask questions? Saeed Abbas, I mean, you're the man behind all of this. Tell me a little more about why you decided to put this particular event on.
Well, as you said very rightly in your intro, that this is the 70th independence anniversary of Pakistan, and besides several other events, so Fashion Week is one of the important event we organize, and that was organized at the Lancaster House, which is a very, very historic and prestigious venue from our point of view, and it has a bit of history as well, because this is where on 14th of August 1947, first Pakistan flag was unfurled or hoisted anywhere outside the newly carved country Pakistan.
And exactly as you're describing that, we're seeing the pictures from the event itself. What an astonishing backdrop it is as these garments and these models go through their paces. Ishad, you've snuggled into the seat beside me. I mean, you wore so many of these outfits through the course of the last couple of days. What was your particular favourite?
I can't choose one because all the designers they have their particular different looks. So I love all of them. I can't choose just one. Yeah, all of the designers are just good.
And the fact that it's here in London, how much did that influence designers in terms of the sorts of things they were trying to do with the garments? The mix of East and West?
Yeah, I think it's really important for us to for the designers to bring the fashion Eastern and Western, because it's really important for us to cover the market here, and we have been promoting. And people are just loving the clothes here. There were a lot of people, and there was an exhibition, and all the clothes were sold. Yeah.
You were telling our producer, I think, of one particular conversation you had during the weekend with a man. You described the conversation because I thought it was fascinating.
Yeah, I'm wearing Maheen Khan, and she was at the airport, and the immigration officer asked her about. Oh, I've seen a lot of designers. They've been coming today, and he was like, I didn't know fashion exists in Pakistan, and there was a fashion market. And Maheen auntie just started laughing. So this is the reason I'm here, she's here, because we want to promote our culture, our fashion. People should know Pakistan's fashion and everything, and our culture, our fashion is booming.
Nabila, exactly on that point, why do you think there is that perception that we know about India's fashion industry, but as that conversation just demonstrated, the Pakistani fashion industry, we know less about it? Why do you think that is?
I think that's something that will change now, because we are working very aggressively on showing people what we are made of, and the image is very, very global, it's very relevant, it's very progressive, and that's the part of Pakistan that not many people see, maybe because it doesn't sell as well.
When you say relevant, what do you mean by that?
I think, our designers are qualified to a certain level of relevance, which is, fashion abreast with the fashion internationally. The fabrics, as you see, are one of the best. The cutting, the draping, the fine work that's done, and also the sensibility. So something like this could easily be worn anywhere in the world, and it's very much on point in fashion.
In terms of organising this for you, I mean, part of the idea is presumably to grow this industry. I mean, how much is it worth at the moment, and what do you see as the potential going forward, say, the next 3 years?
I would say this was, from my point of view, it was an absolute success story, because I think the response we got, it was amazing. And because you see, in Pakistan, as Nabila was saying, the fashion industry is upcoming and sort of it's booming. So I think we have to showcase it. This was a good opportunity for us to showcase it. And as she said, you know, blending of the East and West, that's the way to go forward, because you see, previously we have been only focusing on the local market, but now we have to target.
So the export market up to now has been, what, pretty minimal. Do you anticipate it being able to grow very much markedly?
Absolutely, because we are exporting worldwide 60% of our textile, and now only 10% are coming to the UK. As you know, we have a large diaspora here, so we would want this to at least not double, but at least go a little further up in the next 3 years, as you say. So I think we are targeting, you know, the next 5 years, and this is something which is going to go on, and it's a work in progress.
Nabila, you have styled, it is literally the who's who in Pakistan. Name drop a bit for me.
Well, I would say from politicians to sports people to movie stars and some cricketers, the fashion industry, models, music industry, the who's who.
And in terms of an event like this, I mean, who would you say it's aimed at? Is it aimed at the rich, the elite, the young? How would you categorize it?
Well, I saw a lot of Pakistanis and Asians also in the audience when we were at the show, and I realized that, you know, these are people who live here and long for what's happening back home, and were very proud to see us represent their country, their culture at a global platform. And it's interesting. I would say it's middle or upper middle, but then there will be a lot of trickle-down effect going all the way to the aspiring class as well.
And aspiring also in terms of, in what sense are you aiming it at retailers as well, or people that you hope look at that and are inspired in terms of doing something around that themselves?
Exactly, exactly. No, I mean, there are a lot of eyeballs on the East right now, and you'll see some of the top designers, you know, inspired by, like, if I may give an example, Paul Smith did a Peshawari chappal with our local embroidery and made it look so beautiful, and now you're seeing a lot of that in the high street. So a lot of the inspirations come from the East, but you know, it has to be the right blend of the suitable fabrics, suitable cuts, and global kind of trend with the Eastern sensibility.
A quick final word, Eshal, from you. Nabila telling us about how people in the room were glad this was all happening. They felt a sense of pride there. Did you feel that? You were there on the catwalk going up and down. Did you feel that people were proud to see you there?
Yeah, they all were clapping, and I was like so happy. We all were so proud. Like, you know, we finally did the fashion week and it was successful. And Adnan Ansari has been doing a lot, and I think he's the man behind after all of this. He's the main guy.
Well, listen, all three of you, thank you so much for coming in and talking to us about it and bringing in some of the garments and the beautiful pictures. Thank you so much. Plenty more coming up here in the next moment.